Hi guys, and today I'm gonna put on a reaction video for Geography Now Philippines because I live in the Philippines. So yeah, I'll make a reaction. It's kind of like it's like it's reaction. Never mind. Let's just watch the video.
Cities by Manila are called Manila.
So yeah, let's just
You don't
start.
know anything about Asia. The Philippines is like the jolliest of them all. You're just happy, fun, jolly people. And you know
How
what?
rude.
It's been 3 years. I'm not taking this anymore. I've been pushed around, I've been threatened, I've been thrown into dungeon, I've been the butt of all the jokes. I'm
Yes.
This is my time.
My time.
That's what you get for being so rude for our people.
Welcome to the Philippines. My turn.
Magsimula na.
Okay.
Magsimula means let's start.
Hey everyone, I'm Ken, and as you know, I'm happy.
Hi, Ken.
Years ago, I was looking for a job and I saw this ad asking for a motion graphics animator on Craigslist. Paul and I literally met up with Charlie before we interviewed. He said I was his top.
Oops.
Hey
Sorry.
everyone,
I'm so
Ken,
sorry.
and as you know, I'm happy. Years ago, I was looking for a job and I saw this ad asking for a motion graphics animator on Craigslist. Paul and I literally met up with
Oh, I know. I know where that is. Jollibee is one of the best restaurants in our country. Yeah, that's my favorite restaurant too.
Charlie before we interviewed. He said I was his top 3 candidate.
Reality, no. Technically, I didn't lie, but yeah.
Oh, and back then, I had this weird mustache and Paul's hair was basically.
Ken and I have been talking for a long time, but we agree Ken definitely have to make this episode. We've come so far from that Craigslist Jollibee interviews.
Thanks. Handa na? Magsimula.
Yep, that is our language. Tama siya. Tamang-tama talaga siya. Tamang-tama means he's very, very right.
The Philippines is an interesting country because there's sort of a dichotomy between it. If you ask a Filipino if they consider themselves Asian or Pacific Islanders, you might get contrasting answers.
Yeah.
Man, I always thought Pacific Islanders sounded kind of cool, so I usually suck with that. So first of all,
The Philippines is a tropical archipelago of over 7,000 islands, about 2,000.
Wait. Pause. 7,000 islands? Wow, I didn't even know we have 7,000 islands in here. Have we? 8 people.
It is the largest island nation without any land borders or shared island territory with another nation.
the country is located in Southeast Asia, straddling the Philippine Sea in
Okay.
the north, the South China Sea in
That's
the
true.
west, and the Sulu and Celebes Sea in the south.
Okay,
Just
that's
to
true
right
too.
lies the island of Borneo, which is split amongst 3 nations. The closest point only about 22 miles or 40 kilometers.
Oh, I
Island
didn't.
that belongs to the
Oh,
Philippines.
Now, in
I didn't
general,
know that.
many people will refer to one of the 3 main island classifications that people are part of. There are Luzon in the north, where you can find the
Yeah.
capital Manila, and where half the population lives. Visaya in the center, and Mindanao in the south.
What about
Yep, that is true. He is right. But I live in Luzon. I am on Luzon. There's
It's a nation
there's
made up of 17 regions, one of which is autonomous.
Yeah,
the somewhat
that's right.
autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao. This place has a high level of self-rule and autonomy appointed by the government. We'll explain more about it.
Yeah. Never mind. What am I
If you want to
pausing
be
for?
absolutely technical, Quezon City, a bit north of Manila, is the largest city in the
Oh,
Philippines.
Quezon City is where my mom lives and her sister before. Before I wasn't born yet, my mom and my other parents live in Quezon City.
However, the surrounding 16 towns and cities by Manila are called Manila Metro, or the National
Yeah.
Capital Region, and they basically
That is
act
true.
as a union.
Otherwise, the largest city outside of the NCR are Davao City in Mindanao and Cebu in
Oh.
Visayas.
Manila has the largest and busiest
Oh, yeah.
airport. Ninoy Aquino International
Sometimes in Cebu, sometimes in the Visayas, sometimes there's so much fun to explore over there.
Airport, which is basically the hub that services the entire NCR. They also have
Okay.
the busiest shipping port at the Port of Manila.
Otherwise, the second largest airport is Cebu Mactan International, and rounding up for third place is Davao
Oh.
City Francisco Balboa International.
Wow.
In terms of land transport, though, the Philippines is well connected amongst the island. In fact,
Yep.
the longest highway is the Pan-Philippine Highway that stretches about 3,500 kilometers across the country. It connects Luzon, Samar, Liet, and Mindanao with underground tunnels connecting them.
Finally, the
Wow, I
Philippines
didn't know
have two
that.
territorial disputes. The state of Sabah in Malaysia,
Sabah?
Borneo, the territory once had been part of the Sultanate of Sulu, a Muslim state that existed from the 15th century to the 20th century, and that's a whole other story.
As for the other dispute, as we mentioned quite a few times already, this whole area known as the Spratly Islands is a complete mess. If you don't know anything about this place, it basically goes like this.
Yep, I don't even know that place either.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. This is the map showing what.
Oh wait. Before I continue the video, if you come here to the Philippines, you better bring a sandal because it's so hot in here. So yeah, if you're wearing a t-shirt while in your outside, you rather wear sandal over here in the Philippines because it's hot.
Claims in the area.
It's hot
this big
here,
one
too.
Right here is China's. Like, yeah, they just kind of pretty much went for it.
This has even led to
Oh yeah, we're almost a part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. That's what I studied from AP.
friction between nations that have built patrol stations on the island. And when they spot a ship that gets too close, things can get kind of ugly.
It's kind of like this.
Hey, what are you doing? This is my area. Why do you have a shovel then? Are you building something?
Well, technically they don't land.
So you're just gonna build your own land for research.
Anyway, here are some notable spots of interest.
Fort Santiago,
Magellan's
Uh-huh.
Cross,
San Agustin Church,
Sagada Hanging Coffins,
Aguilado
Yeah.
Shrine.
Cebu's Philippine Towers.
Okay, slow it down, please.
The Lapu-Lapu Shrine.
Lapu-Lapu Shrine.
Park.
MacArthur
I have
Grange
been there.
Sites,
Maui Rice Terrace.
the Malacanang Palace,
Bigan has many historical and colonial buildings.
the various
Okay, pause it for a sec. I don't even know if we can exist here. That's all I'm gonna say. Really?
Arts,
Tons of amusement parks.
and that's not even including
Ocean Park? Wait, Ocean Park? Did you say
Maui
Ocean
Rice
Park?
Terrace.
The Malacanang Palace,
Bigan has many historical and colonial buildings.
the various national museums of history and arts.
Tons of
Wow! Okay, guys. I have been to two of these places. I've been in Ocean Park, which is I was 4 years old, and Sky Ranch in Tagaytay. Sky Ranch is so much fun. You should go to Tagaytay. Yeah, because sometimes it gets foggy and so cold. I have been to Sky Ranch before, but I haven't ride a roller coaster. I haven't ride most of the rides. And Ocean Park, wow. That I visited that for. I haven't visited even that. It's a part of my childhood or something, and my sister's childhood especially.
amusement parks.
And that's not even including all the natural wonders of the Philippines. They have an underground river.
The most
Oh.
amazing, beautiful beaches in the
Boracay
Those
Beach.
that look like lumps of
Chocolate Hills. I do remember when I'm studying this from my old school. I said, my mind is go because it named Chocolate Hills. I was like, my brain was like, ooh, I want to go there because it's chocolate. Because I love chocolate. But now when I just realized, it's only chocolate because when almost sunset, it looks like that. But when it's sun up, it looks like green. So the mountain is supposed to be green, but when the sun goes down, sunset, it became like that. Only fun
In a
video.
lake, in an island, in a lake, in an island.
Yeah.
You should hang out sometime. Yeah, when you have 7,000 tropical islands on a volcanic archipelago, chances are things can get pretty crazy landscape-wise. Which brings us to...
Oh no, oh no. This is what you call bloopers. Okay, let's just skip the ad.
The actual physical land of the Philippines is the biggest treasure you can find there for sure. Anyway, the Philippines lies on the Ring of Fire and is specifically on the
See, I told you. Yeah, that is true. Like I just mentioned earlier, the Pacific Ring of Fire.
plate named after the Philippine plate.
About 95% of the land is made up of the 11 largest islands.
The country was essentially formed through the tectonic activity between the Philippines, Manila, and the Mindanao Trench. The Mindanao being the second deepest one.
This makes the country susceptible to small earthquakes and minor volcanic activity.
About 53 active volcanoes can be found in all of these largest islands, except
What?
for Palawan. The most
53? I only know 3 volcanoes.
famous and picturesque of these include these three.
Okay. I'll explain this one. This needs some pretty much
This
explaining.
makes the country susceptible to small earthquakes and minor volcanic activity.
About 53 active volcanoes can be found in all of these largest islands, except for Palawan. The most famous and picturesque of these include
Okay. Okay. I will not explain Mount Pinatubo because I forgot it. So yeah, Mount Taal is on Tagaytay because you will see there in Tagaytay the beautiful views. And Mount Mayon is on somewhere in Region 5. So yeah. Mount Taal because Tagaytay, Taal. So yeah. Mount Mayon.
these three.
See this island here, Camiguin? It actually has more volcanoes than towns on it. 7 versus 5, making it the place with the most
I didn't
number
know
of
that.
volcanoes per square kilometer in the world.
In fact, the tallest peak in the Philippines is a potentially active volcano, Mount Apo, located in the South Mindanao
Mount
area.
Apo?
The country has numerous
Oh.
mountain ranges and highlands.
I gotta question my parents about Mount Apo.
Cordillera Range in the north area, hooking into the Sierra Madre Range on the east side, which feeds the longest river of the country, the Cagayan, that flows into the Cagayan Valley.
This
Cagayan.
valley, along with the central Luzon Valley, are the largest arable croplands and produce nearly all of the rice in the Philippines.
Besides,
Oh,
are
I didn't know that.
sugarcane, whereas Mindanao specializes heavily in coconut and fruit production.
Back in Luzon, though, you can find the largest lake in the country, Lake Laguna de Bay, which is actually in the caldera of the dormant volcano.
The lake has a weird detached island called Talim, and is actually drained by the Pasig River that flows through the capital Manila.
And finally, the country is the heart of typhoon territory. They can come at almost any time of the year. The nation will experience on average about 20 of the turbulent storms annually, which causes
Yep. Okay, and today there's a storm over here. It is blue skies though. So yeah, yesterday in a few weeks, it can't stop raining. Non-stop. It's always raining, but not always. It's not always. Because just a week, it starts raining and it's not stopping. It's going non-stop.
floods in their many river systems. But yeah, if anything, Filipinos are the most cyclone-adapted people on Earth.
That
Water
is
always
true.
been kind of their thing.
Yes, that is happening right now in our country. Because it's called flood, but in Tagalog it's called baha. Baha is flood.
Sailing, fishing, not exactly quite diving. Otherwise, the Philippines is one of the 17 mega diverse nations on Earth.
They actually have the largest level of marine biodiversity in the world, with their waters and the highest rate of animal discovery on the planet, and 16 new mammal species that were discovered.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
They have
60 new
everything
animals.
The longest snake in the world, the reticulated python.
The largest
Ah, okay. I remember. Do you guys remember from Yoki's farm that the giant snake? Forgot what it's
fish
called.
in the world, whale sharks.
Whale
Several
shark.
of the 8 known species of giant clam are found in the Philippines.
The world's smallest hoofed animal, the Philippine mouse deer.
Mouse
The
deer.
national bird is the largest eagle in
Philippine
the
eagle.
world.
Economically speaking, the
That
Philippines is
eagle
considered a newly
is
industrialized nation. It is transitioning out of becoming an agricultural-based system to a service and manufacturing-based one. They have like 3 of the top 10 largest malls on Earth.
Just
Oh, SM.
taking the top spots. They're one of the
S.
fastest growing
Oh yeah,
economies
SM is one of the famous malls in there.
in the world. Their GDP purchasing power currently surpassed the $2 trillion mark.
Basically, the Philippines is
2
definitely
trillion?
becoming a key
What's 2 trillion?
power player in the world stage. It's like someday. For what it's worth, though, mining, fishing, and agriculture are strong industries as well. They are currently the world's largest nickel and abaca or manila hemp producers,
I
and
didn't know
second
that.
largest coconut producer after Indonesia.
Tourism
Oh, yeah, that's how
is
coconut looks like.
around 8% of their GDP, is ranked number
Oh, ito ka ba Palawan?
And now, Food! Now, in the Philippines,
Yep.
every region has their own specialty and culinary strange.
Yeah, every dish looks like a very exploding.
Lots of dishes you can eat from kamay or eat with your hands.
Yeah, pretty much everything has
Yep,
spice. And
yep,
then you're
that
gonna get
is
a lot
true.
of grease and salt
My
and vinegar and a lot
my
of,
grandparents
I
and
don't
my
care
dad
if that looks like it's or not.
are using their hands.
Right, Ken?
Yeah, that's Filipino food.
Yeah.
There's really no official national dish, but three meals that are well known for are adobo, lumpia, and sinigang.
And in the non-Muslim
Ah,
parts,
okay.
lechon is a huge deal.
There are also dishes
Yep.
like
Tagalog steak,
tinola,
pansit luglug,
kare-kare,
siksik,
tapsilog,
balut,
kinilaw.
and my favorite Filipino dish, palabok. It's a nice little lemon juice on it. I actually got this at Jollibee. You don't know what Jollibee is? It's like the most popular fast food chain in the Philippines.
Yep.
Like McDonald's and KFC adopted a Philippine.
Yeah, it beats every restaurant in our country. It's one of the yummiest restaurants in there. So when you travel here, well, just find a Jollibee restaurant. And when you taste their food there, they will be yummalicious. I promise, I am not joking. Oh, whoopsie daisy.
Baby, they even added spaghetti to their menu. For
Oh, that's my favorite
Otherwise,
one.
Filipinos are dessert experts. They love their ube everything, ube ice cream, ube bread, ube pie,
Yep,
ube cakes.
yep.
Oh, they also have like sapin and cassava cakes. Those are the best desserts in Ireland.
Yep,
They
that
also
is
have
true.
halo-halo, leche flan, turon, buko pandan, and puto. What you call me? If you're either Latin American or Spanish, you may notice some of those foods are also found in Latin cuisine. And there's a reason for that.
Oh no, there comes another ad.
Explain that, Ann.
Oh no. I'm so sorry for the blooper because I can't pause this video. So yeah, whatever.
We'll explain that, Ann. Now, only in the Philippines can you find people that have Spanish names, speak English, celebrate Austronesian culture, and cook Chinese.
General MacArthur once said, "Give me 1,000 Filipino soldiers, and I will conquer the world."
Yeah, for some reason, Filipinos are like the best friends of Asia. Filipinos still have the best attitudes and smiles. They even give time off felony sentences if the prisoners volunteer to take part in a Michael Jackson dance performance.
What in the
Well,
world?
but we're getting ahead of ourselves. First, the graph. The country has about 110 billion people, and it's the 8th most populated country in Asia, and the
Wow.
4th most populated country in the world.
There are about 175 ethno-linguistic people groups in the Philippines, the majority of whose languages are Austronesian.
Of these groups, the largest ones are the Tagalog at about 28%, 13% are Cebuano, 9% are Ilocano, and 8% are Bisaya. The rest are made up of other groups, plus a small minority of non-native citizens, mostly Asians and Americans.
It's important to note, though, that the Philippines has about
Can't still
10.2
speak
million
English.
people overseas worldwide. It is one of the largest diaspora populations, spanning over 100 countries. The U.S. alone has about 4 million.
I mean, they were at one point colonized by the
Apat?
US, so go figure.
These
Apat
Filipino
million?
currency, they use text A,
Apat
B,
means
and C
four.
plug outlets, and they drive on the right side.
Oh, and keep in mind, the word Pinoy is synonymous with something that is Filipino. You might see that used a lot.
Now back to the ethnic
Yeah.
groups thing. Since there are over 175,000
I've heard of that.
how do they all communicate?
Well, the Philippines has two official languages. English, which makes it the fifth most English-speaking nation on Earth, and Filipino, which is the standardized version of Tagalog. The Philippine Tagalog language spoken today is very different from pure Tagalog. It actually has about 14% Spanish, 10% Malay, and 7% English mixed into it with a slew of other moral loanwords. You can see the influence of words like bintalato, guapo, zapatos, and familia.
Zapatos is sleepers. Zapatos is sleepers, but I don't even know most. Yeah. Zapatos and pamilya means family. So yeah.
Then Filipinos will substitute an F with a P. Or an
High five with minimal consonants.
Yay!
Oh, and fun fact, Ken taught me this. In Tagalog, you can actually say an entire conversation just using the syllable ba. For example,
Ba, 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 ba.
That is not true. That is 100%ly not true. Do not do. Just say. So wait. Okay. So sometimes we just use the K instead of the C. So sometimes we just replace with the C. We use the C. We do not use the C in our languages, but we only use the K for our languages.
ba, 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 ba.
Ba, ba, ba.
Well, that was fun. Otherwise, in the Visayas and Mindanao area, Cebuano is a common language, as well as the other regional tongues like Waray.
We use P.
They
We
even
use
have
P
the only
too.
Spanish-speaking Creole in Asia, Navagado, located in Zamboanga City. Now, the Philippines is unique in that over the past few centuries, they've gone through 3 periods that shape their identity.
Before European intervention, the Philippines has had a multitude of early civilizations that have kingdoms and dynasties
Yeah.
like Tondo, Namayan, Pangasinan, and the Sulu Sultanate.
Many
By
of these
Pangasinan, there's my cousins that I haven't visited for a while. I haven't visited them in years because I was 6 when I was the last time visiting them.
These kingdoms had their own indigenous writing systems, such as the Babayan, Uni, Eskayan, and Kulita.
Genetically, Filipinos are classified as belonging to the broader Austronesian community. The closest cousins to the regions like the Islanders, Guam, and Palau.
Although over the years, many people have mixed, and today it is speculated that somewhere around 1/5 or more of the population may have some kind of Chinese ancestry. After the Spanish came in, they adopted many of the customs, traditions, and
Oh, we're talking about
which have
history.
Spanish roots. Their own countries named after Spanish people. The biggest trait, though, would be the fact that they are predominantly Catholic, and about 81% of the population adhering to the faith.
The rest are mostly Protestant, with a small Muslim minority in the south and the north.
The Philippines is the largest Christian nation in Asia, fifth largest Christian nation on earth, and third largest Catholic nation after Brazil and Mexico.
They have so many holidays and festivals devoted to Catholic themes, like
Yep.
All Saints Day, Holy Week, and Easter, and of course,
Easter?
the largest one, Christmas.
The Philippines has the longest Christmas season out of anywhere else on earth.
Okay, so now we're just gonna rapid
Yeah.
fire on it.
Okay. Pause it for a sec. We celebrate. Sometimes we open our gifts in Christmas when it's on midnight in Christmas Eve. We don't open them in the morning. We open them in night because we open it at night, so it will be Christmas for real.
Some 12 fun cultural facts from the Philippines.
My final
Filipinos
talking
have a ton
time.
of superstition. For example, whistling at night can turn you into a werewolf.
For formal occasions, you may see Filipinos wearing
That's
traditional
not true.
parongs for men,
I think.
Korean letter, or mestizo dresses for men.
There are many other traditional costumes and customs for the other 170 million. Too many to cover, but it goes everywhere, from feathers, coconut fibers, hair dresses, tribal tattoos, and so on.
Speaking of which, the Philippines dominates major international beauty pageants with a grand total
Yep.
of 15 victims at the Miss Universe and Miss World as the national Miss Earth competitions.
Basketball and boxing are the most popular sport by far.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have the oldest basketball league in Asia, and the second oldest in the world after the United States.
Yep.
And come on, we all know Pacquiao.
The Philippines is the
Yeah,
leading
Pacquiao is our champion, our boxing champion in the Philippines.
nation to train
No one can beat him.
nurses abroad. It's been said at one point, every Filipino has their should I just drop everything and become a nurse moment in their life crisis.
That's a fact.
Stop saying something like that.
The word balikbayan means returner or returning family. It is
Yeah.
used when someone comes back from expat or abroad.
You might hear the honorific title of Opo.
Opo, that's how we show our manners. We use po and opo. It's my, yeah, we use po and opo. So that's how we show our manners. Sometimes I said ano po, or opo means like yes, but I'm saying a nice way.
Elders. A lot of people often raise the backs
Yeah.
of their hands at their elders. They're important.
When we say it, when a person is older than our age, so that's when we use the po and opo.
As a sign of respect, they say this.
In the Philippines,
Oh, yep,
you
you
have
guys.
your name and you have your Pinoy nickname, and they get really weird and creative. Pepsi, Bing Bong, Jelly Boy, Pinky, Bum Bum, and Earl.
Every Filipino
That
on every
is-
island in every region can tell you Filipinos are
Half to,
obsessed
just
with
a half.
karaoke.
It's
First
like-
karaoke machine was actually patented by a Filipino, Roberto Del Rosario, even though some Japanese dude invented it, but he patented it.
Obviously, that means music is a big deal in the Philippines.
Oh yeah,
They
that's
also have traditional
that's
rock
100%
music
true.
like Yapi, Kilikam, Yimbay, Bing, and Togari.
In addition,
Yep.
there are many different styles of dance, but the most famous one considered the national dance is Tinikling, a dance done between two pairs of
That's one of the hardest dance doing in the Philippines, I think, because it looks kind of cool, but it takes a lot of practice. Even having tried it.
clap together as percussion tools, and the
Yep.
dancers must weave their feet in and out in the spaces before hitting.
That one,
Now,
it's
on a
insane.
bit more objective note, we do have to talk about some of the contests.
The Philippines is beautiful, but if you've been keeping up with current events, they do have their fair share of issues that have made headlines. So no shame for it.
Human trafficking, whether it's sex in the streets, slavery, or organ smuggling, has been a problem in certain areas. And even though anti-trafficking acts have been passed by the government, enforcement has not always been on par.
Drug trade has also been a major inconvenience for decades, affecting millions of people in the country. This has led to the new controversial laws.
Oh, that was our president. That's our president.
Drug pushers died in the process.
And finally, you have the Morocco conflict, an insurgency in the predominantly Muslim Mindanao region, which sought to take parts of eastern Malaysia and break away from conflict. The fight has been going on for nearly half a century, and now it's just ending at
Half a century?
I know. For what it's worth, though, in the Philippines, everyone is family at the end. You don't have to be related to anyone to call someone ate or kuya. There's even a word, bayanihan, which means something like helping one another, community spirit, without expecting anything in return. In any case, we gotta finish off the segment with history.
Austronesian.
Okay.
Kingdoms and sultanates.
This guy came to the islands.
Catholicism comes in.
Lapu-Lapu and Magellan dies in battle.
Five
Oh,
Spanish
yeah.
dudes follow through.
They finally become a colony of Spain.
Lapu-Lapu is our hero in Mindanao, I think.
Galleon trade.
British Philippines.
And then back to Spain. The Treaty of Paris.
Philippine Revolution.
Paris.
Spanish-American War.
First Philippine Republic. Philippine American War.
American occupation.
World War II, Japan invades.
We are the underdogs. Over
Pushes
here.
them back.
Finally, Philippine independence.
Ferdinand Marcos turned from president to dictator.
Martial law.
This guy gets killed because he was against the regime.
People Power
Yep.
Revolution in 1986.
Growth
Oh yeah, our people always does that if they want something.
Cultural society to an industrial one.
And
Once my dad's friend, he's the leader of
today.
one of
And now
them.
we finish off with the notable things people condensed. Some things people you guys at the Pinoy Geography suggested we mention in this episode include
Lapu-Lapu.
Jose Rizal, these two saints,
Belcora Aquino.
Manuel L. Quezon,
Acandula. Josefa Yanes Escoda. And Vicente Lim.
Carlos Peña Romulo.
And all the Miss Universe winners. And there's a ton of Americans with Filipino or partial Filipino descent.
Yeah, this is the best of American Filipinos.
We'll explain more on how that happened in...
Friend
Because of the
zone.
long history
Okay.
of the Philippines being colonized by two major Western powerhouses, it would make sense that it would have ties with the outside world in many different ways.
For friends, the Philippines is generally close with all the ASEAN nations and does great business with them, particularly Indonesia and Malaysia, the closest neighbors.
Marshall Islands, Palau, and the federal states of Micronesia are all cousin countries, many of which have Filipino migrants in them. They
Cousin
all share the
country?
same history of being former U.S. territories and U.S. independent states.
Of course, Spain will always be in the back of their minds as the former colonizer that they gained much influence from. Although Filipinos are not considered Latino, the Spanish and many Latin Americans kind of see them as like the adopted Asians that totally fit in their family. It's like, come on, you're Catholic, you eat flan, every fifth word you speak is Spanish, you're basically one of us.
Interestingly enough, the relationship with Mexico has historically been always strong. The Philippines was ruled under a Mexico-based viceroyalty of New
Itapon sa basura, it means throw it in the trash. And wow.
Spain. The Manila galleons were Spanish trading ships, which for 2.5 centuries linked the Philippines with Mexico across the Pacific Ocean, making 1 or 2 round-trip voyages per year between the ports of Acapulco and Manila. And Mexican traditions were brought in, like the Day of the Dead and Chaparral.
When it comes to the best friends, however, most Filipinos
Chaparrado
probably
is
say
yummy. It's one of my breakfast food. That is, I ate yesterday.
the colonial years were a little bit bumpy. Ultimately, the USA and South Korea.
South Korea was one of their closest best friends from the 20th century on. World War II really bonded with them after the Japanese occupation years, and they supported each other diplomatically.
Koreans are the top #1 tourist demographic that visit the Philippines. Koreans kind of admire the fact that even though they were both influenced by the U.S., Filipinos speak better English, whereas Filipinos practically obsess over Korean products and media.
Us!
That's why we're...
For the USA, ties were close ever since they became their colony in 1898. The U.S. also had the largest number of overseas Filipinos, at over 4 million, most of whom
What?
live on the west coast states like Hawaii and
I think that's true because my nephews is on the LA in United States.
They are one of the oldest Asian partners of the U.S. They have a mutual defense treaty, and they are the largest export partner and second largest importer after China.
American pop culture dominates much of the food influence. Hollywood studios love filming there. Gallup polls have shown that the USA is favored on average by over 90% of people asked, making it one of the most pro-American countries. And Ken, you take the conclusion.
In conclusion, if you enter a room full of Asians, we definitely know who the Filipinos are. While everyone's so uptight, we're the ones singing karaoke and somersaulting. You can just feel the energy of a Filipino. There's a touch of Latin flavor with American pop undertones. But in the end, no matter what island, you're immediately considered part of the Pinoy family.
Ken, you're my best friends. I love you, man.
Thanks. Stay tuned. Poland is coming up next.
Okay. Okay, so that's the video. Okay, so that's the video of sa reaction ko sa to video. So yeah, Salamat pa nanonood. That means thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!